All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are. I'm gonna need you guys to tell me whether or not my audio is okay, because I'm actually trying out the new mic right now. So yeah, let me know how it goes. If it's not good, you guys are gonna have to give me a couple minutes to get my other mic set up. But hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. But just let me know in the chat. And yeah, so today, don't really have an agenda. I mean, I created a topic for this live stream. And a lot of people have been asking me that, is the United States still an ally to the rest of the world? And you know, I really don't know how to answer that, to be honest. I mean, if we're talking on like a government and trade level, I would have to say no. But if we're talking on a citizen level, to a certain extent, to a certain portion of the United States, I would have to say yes. So it's not really a black and white for me. I guess it's more of a gray area, and depending on certain things. So, all right, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you telling me the sound is okay. I've been spending the last 2.5 hours trying to figure out my stupid mic, and it was one of those things where I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can improve the mic a little bit, but it wasn't broken, and I broke it. So I'm just glad it's okay for you guys on the other side. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick live stream. I think I only got about an hour today before Mrs. GTL wants to go to sleep. It's currently 11 p.m. where I am, and I know some of you in Vancouver on the Pacific side said it was a little bit too early for you, but unfortunately, like I think this time is the most optimal for everyone around the world globally, um, except for those maybe in Australia and New Zealand. I think it's probably like 1 or 3 a.m. in the morning for you guys. So yeah, so hopefully, we can have some good chats here. And I do want to give a few updates. And you guys can see the screen okay, right? I mean, okay, I'm using the StreamYard. I mean, this is the one that Josh recommended to me. And what I see on the screen right now, in terms of what I'm sharing, is actually mirrored. So it looks all backwards to me. So can you guys let me know if it looks okay on your side? And hopefully, you guys can read the text properly, because I can see it backwards right now. Just let me know in the chat. Just looking at, oh yeah, congrats on the gold medal. Did we get a gold? I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really been keeping up with the Olympics. Just mainly because I don't know if it's because of the distance, but I've just been kind of reading up on the stats and standings and things like that. So hopefully Canada's doing well. I mean, I did hear about there was a curling, little bit of curling drama, but I actually haven't found out what exactly it was. So, but what I have on the screen here, I just want to review the two petitions that I am featuring on my channel. The first one is from Heather McPherson, and let me refresh and see where it's at right now. So it's currently at 8,654. Fuck, 8,645 signatures. Oh my god. I can't fix my mistakes when I'm doing a live stream. So yeah, you guys are just recognizing my dyslexia or whatever. But either way, I do know there are other areas, whether it's Reddit and other YouTubers that are promoting this. So hopefully we can get some traction on it and get some good numbers before it closes. The next one is also from Bruce Fanjoy, and this one is to have pretty much all the MPs, I guess, have a proper security check. And I think we all know who this is for. But this one's already at 36,000, and both petitions only started on February 6th. So both of them are getting some great traction in terms of signatures from Canadians around the world. So if you haven't signed them, or you do want to read on these a little bit further, they will be in the description of all my videos, as well as the pinned comments. So have a look at them, and if you have any questions, those in the Discord server can probably help answer any questions and have a discussion about it. All right, so now that we got those out of the way, I don't have an agenda. I mean, I did want to talk about whether or not we still feel the United States is an ally or not. And like I said earlier when I first started this, I'm a bit torn. I mean, I don't think the government and the right is an ally, but at the same time as well, there is a small portion in the United States that are fighting against their regime. And do I consider them an ally? Yes, I do. So how does that? I mean, how do we support only those that actually give a shit versus not supporting the entire country, right? So you know, I don't know. I mean, this is everybody will have their own view on this, right? And I mean, that's my view. I always have to consider my friends and family who are in the United States, and then also our U.S. supporters as well, right? But unfortunately, to our U.S. viewers right now, you have a lot of fellow citizens that really could care less about what's going on right now, and it is unfortunate. So I personally feel until those, your fellow citizens that don't care, and again, I will use my friend in Nevada as an example. Until he starts giving a shit, there's going to be, it's going to be rough, and it's going to be tough to kind of change the country's mentality, unfortunately. So, but yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. So allies don't threaten other allies. That's true, 100% true. But then again, I mean, you have to think that allies, um, but where are these threats coming from, right? I mean, the threats are obviously coming from the U.S. government. They're coming from the right, and primarily from the media as well on the right. So for me, I definitely don't consider them allies, but for a lot of the U.S. citizens that I'm talking to on Discord or via email or Blue Sky or whatever, those are the ones that are apologizing to us and really embarrassed by what their country is doing. I consider them an ally. So I think we have to kind of factor that in as well. Kira says lots of U.S. citizens support Trump and what he's doing. Oh, definitely. I don't disagree there, and I don't consider those ones allies. Trying to invade Greenland was a step too far. You know what? I just created a video. Thanks, Martin, for this. I just created a video that I think the Greenland incident and Trump trying to buy Greenland really. I don't know. I don't want to say it woke up Europe, but I think it really got Europe on board with, basically boycotting the U.S. and cutting all ties with them, right? So I'm glad to see that, but for me personally, I kind of felt like most of 2025, it's really been Canada, stepping up on the boycott. Europe was slowly coming in, and then once the Greenland incident happened, I think that's when pretty much most of Europe, even the ones that may have just been kind of idling by, really kind of stepped it up when it came to the boycott. And Julie says, "Hey, Keisha Greaves, hello GTL. I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, had a good day. Went out for a walk around the KLCC area. It was stupidly hot. It was like 35 degrees, but then when you look at the weather, it's 35 degrees, but it actually feels like 39. So I definitely had to hydrate and go into the malls for like aircon breaks. So, but yeah, it was good. Casey Muse says we're no longer allies the minute Donald Trump threatened Canada. Definitely. But like I said earlier, I mean, I don't consider the government allies at all. I don't consider the right. I don't consider those that are apathetic and don't care allies. But I do consider the ones that are being the resistance allies. So that's my stance on it. So, the people are our friends, but the government, no way. I don't trust them. 100%. I agree with that as well, Tricia. Christian says, no, not only the 77 million, but the 90 million who saw and did nothing in the first period and still stayed home, and they chose us. I agree as well. I mean, I believe you're talking about the ones that didn't vote, or the ones that couldn't care less to actually make, get to the polling stations. I totally agree with that as well. So, I don't think the suckers understand how many businesses would put out. You know what? I had a good chat with Wayne, my teacher, when it comes to tourism. I don't think Wayne mentioned on Discord he's not going to be able to join the live stream today, but we had a quick discussion on DM, and he mentioned that especially when it comes to the budget for 2026 for most of the states and counties and cities, there's going to be a lot of budget cuts because obviously they didn't get the tourism revenue. And with that, I mean, if they're going to be cutting there, you're going to be guaranteeing that there's going to be a lot of businesses cutting, cutting down, pulling back, laying off, or even shutting down. So I really think that 2026 is going to be very interesting. And I think the first I mentioned before in my videos, I think February, March, maybe some of April, we're going to be hearing a lot of budget stuff. And then when the United States starts to realize, uh-oh, all of those people that came over last year that went over because they pre-booked in 2024, since those people aren't coming over, I have a feeling they're going to really feel more tourism pain versus last year. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Let's see. While yours by hooray. Um, the resistance is an ally. The government and MAGA aren't. 100% agree with you, Oz Tango. PP lacks security clearance because he has something to hide. Probably something to do with USA. He was balls deep in the BS trucker rally and congratulated Trump for the visit away. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you being a leader of a party in Canada and you don't have your security clearance, that just kind of mind boggles me. But I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. What else do we got here? I think most of them are not allies. Those who are fighting the fascist stuff, yes, but the exceptionalism stops them from really allying. You know what, Mac Mooney, 100%. And there was another YouTuber. I'm not going to name names, but she basically insinuated that the rest of the world shouldn't be. What was it? Basically insinuated that the United States doesn't have to put on a show for us, right? And I never responded, and I don't think I wanted to create a video on. And that's their stance, right? But um, you know, I even get comments in my channel, and you guys know this as well, that I get a lot of emails, and even Democratic voters are saying that I don't know. Okay, they're not saying, but the tone of the email definitely has the exceptionalism, right? So like they're basically the ones to well, they have to fix the problem, but I, I can't get it on my head right now. What I'm trying to say is that there is a bit of an angle that they're the best in the world. They will fix it, and um, you know don't, how do I say it? I'm lost for words. This is what happens when you're live and you can't get it out of your head. At least when I'm editing my video, I can pause it. But I think Mac Mooney, I 100% agree with you. I mean, there's exceptionalism everywhere, and I believe that everybody that follows my channel and even Josh's channel and you know understands that, hey, the United States is not the best in the world. Those are the ones that I consider allies. But there are YouTube creators out there that still believe, they're fighting the resistance, but they still believe that they're the best country in the world. So, I think those are the ones that, yeah, you're fighting the resistance, but you're not 100% my ally. So, all I'm going to say is never again. I totally agree with you. Some of them are deluded enough to think that Alberta is separated, that we won't end up as a U.S. territory. Yeah, I mean, the whole separation thing is sad that it's actually happened. Not happening, but it's sad that it is actually a thing. And I hope it gets squashed pretty soon. And I know it's a small minority. And we do have a lot of work to do to make sure that we don't have a vocal right in Canada. So. The U.S. will be non-reliable ally for at least 2 decades. I totally agree. I mean, I think it might actually be more than that, because I mean, think about it this way, Jurgen, is that I'm in my mid 40s, and I think this is a turning point in my life that, up until this, this shit show just happened, I've always felt at the United States was like a good friend. We cross the border, we travel there, and we share the same entertainment cultures and whatever else, right? But that has changed, and in my opinion, this is the trust is deep, right? And that was broken, and not only just because of the rhetoric, but when you think about what followed the rhetoric, which is, the far right, basically following the insults, the disrespect, and everything else. But it's also the way the tourism officials and the business officials and even the government kind of showed their true colors. It wasn't really about the friendship and everything else. It was really getting their economy back up and running. And that's what kind of disappointed me. And I'm hope I have a long life, but I'm hopefully in my midlife crisis area. But I hope that when I get older, I'm still going to be remembering this, and I'm never going to be able to look at the United States the same way. So that's my opinion. But I'm sure some people in the chat might agree with me. But yeah, thanks for your message, Jordan. I feel the majority of those that live in the U.S. have never cared about what happens outside their borders. Oh, 100%. It's we all see those. We all see those late night talk show videos where they interview the common U.S. citizen and they ask them to you know locate a country on the map or even the United States on a map. And it mind boggles me that people can't even locate their own country on a map, right? So if we're seeing that, and if that's kind of happening in the United States, I would not expect them to know what's going on in Canada or in Europe or in Asia or anywhere else, right? Now, that's not all on them. It's also on the United States media, right? Because the media, I've interviewed a few people who kind of told us, their local state news or county news, what they do is they'll talk about the local county stuff for like a half an hour. They'll talk about the weather for another 10 minutes, sports, and then they might do about 2 or 3 minutes of international news. So to be fair, they're only told, they only know what they're being told, right? And, I wouldn't expect them to know what's happening in Canada if they only get like maybe 2 or 3 minutes of news a day for internationally, right? So yeah, but I totally agree with you, Trina, on that. So yeah, that's why we only need to know. Okay, let's not forget 77 million. Yep. Canadian citizens coming from citizens too. Yep. You're pegging the audio a little bit. Am I a little bit too close to the mic? Let me know, Tony. Yeah, like I said, I bought a new mic, and this thing has way too many settings, and I just wanted something that was plug and play. So, evening. I live a long way from Canada, but I'm definitely with you. Thank you, Scorpius. Let us know where you're from. I'm getting way behind on these comments. Let me take a look. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to show this. I haven't actually been keeping up with the Crown Royal situation, but maybe those of you in the comments might be able to update. But it seems like there was a deal with the Diageo, and I guess it looks like Crown Royal is staying in Canada. But it says here, I'm gonna have to look at this more, but this is coming from the Windsor Star saying that the deal was horrible. So I don't know, maybe anybody in the comments from the Windsor area or Ontario might be able to give us more of an update on this. But I'll have to read this a little bit more. I just saw this just before I started the live stream, so I'm not really too sure 100% what it's about. But I guess it means that, yeah, I guess we can still continue to buy Crown Royal. Let's see if I can find anything here. Yeah, I'll have to read this later. It's going to take me too long to kind of dive into it. So, all right. Robert says, "Do you see what Rubio said in Munich? Nothing has changed, so not an ally." I vaguely saw something. I mean, I know he's talking to the European leaders and trying to cool things down, but also at the same time as well, rubbing out people off the wrong way. I'll have to look into a little bit more on what he's saying and what kind of damage he's doing out there. So, Arbitus RM says the current government of the U.S. is not our ally. Oh, 100% on that. Totally agree. Steffer, morning everyone. Hey Steffer, good to see you here. Steffer's been around my channel almost since the beginning, I believe, and he's helped me on the Reddit side as well along with Tawny and Hack as well. So thank you to my Reddit moderators. Let's see what else we have here. Evil Grin says the problem is nobody considered the U.S. stable ever again. How long until the next nut job flips the table? You're right. I mean, I'm gonna guess. Let's provided that it is a fair midterms, the Democrats should win, and provided that things keep going downhill. Hopefully, it's a Democratic president. But what's stopping this from happening in another 4 to 8 years after that, right? So I just feel it's reached a point where how do I say it? It's reached the point to, I think, the level of respect for each side is out the window. And you can tell by how our government speaks to in parliament or speaks about the other parties. And when you look over the border, you can see how the Orange McNugget speaks to everybody else, right? So I just feel that kind of respect that was once had when it came to political parties in the U.S. is out the window. So even when Trump is oops, I said his name. Even when the Orange McNugget is gone, I have a feeling all of this rudeness and disrespect and everything's out in the open now, and there's no rules anymore, unfortunately. So let's see. Dalabek, good day to you all, and Young Gardeleaf. Good morning, good evening. I'm not that young. I have back pains, and my lower back is actually killing right now, even though I bought a stand-up desk, and I'm trying to see if this helps with my lower back pain. I got into a bad car accident in my early 2000s, and ever since then, even with the physio and everything, I've always had back problems if I sit for long periods of time. So, but yeah, good day to you. Wish you health. Thank you, sir, for this. Anonymous, all that voted for him didn't vote at all, are not allies. That's a huge majority. Definitely. What else we got here? I'm getting really behind on the comments. You guys are very quick on the comments here. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more. I don't even know how far behind I am. Oh, one thing I also want to talk about is Air Transat. I saw this Air Transat report. I mean, I think multiple of you viewers sent it over to me, and this is actually a little bit bigger than I thought it was, because after having I had a conversation with our aviation guy here, YUL Spotter, who I believe is in the chat, and one of what I was curious about was that last report I did said it used to be at peak time about 16 flights per week, right? So 16 flights per week to Florida. I believe it was Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, I think it was, one of the two. But either way, that's a capacity of over 3,000 seats per week. And, that's provided that it was going with the Airbus A321, which is the smaller plane. But it did mention that prior to that, I guess maybe even during their peak time, they were using Airbus A330s, which has a capacity, I believe, anywhere from maybe 300 to 330, somewhere around there. So I've been thinking about this a lot. And if you think about the 16 flights, and then they reduced it down to 3 or something like that, and now it's suspended altogether, that tells me, okay, it kind of, I had to take a step back a bit, and I had to look at Florida, and like, is the Florida, I mean, obviously we know Florida numbers are all skewed, and I don't think anybody believes the true numbers coming out of Florida, but it makes me realize, is the Canadian boycott of Florida even bigger than what I expected, right? Because if you think about all the seating capacity that was reduced, and then also from reduced to canceled, it's a lot of seats that used to go that are not there right now, right? I mean, it's anybody's guess. I mean, I guess I could get the numbers if I paid for a subscription, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But what we know now is that it's zero. It's zero, right? And the clues that we had is if we go by an A321, say 3,000 seats per week. Let's say it's even 70% full or 75% full. That's still a lot of Canadians going to the United States that is not going anymore. So I just wanted to bring that up because I mean it's been kind of I wish I could get the data on it, and I wish I can get the historical data from like 2022, 2023, and 2024. Because I believe then, you know, we would have a true indication, at least with Air Transat, how many Canadians are no longer going to Florida. And, I would love to get those numbers and be able to rub it into DeSantis's face. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to mention because it's been kind of mind-boggling me after I had my conversation with YUL Spotter and even Wayne offline. So let's see. Okay, I'm really behind on the comms. You guys are fast. Is the co-host doing well? Co-host is good, and where's she? She's sleeping, surprisingly. But then again, it's almost midnight here, so usually by this time she's already knocked out. And then when we go to sleep by about 1 o'clock, she'll be doing her zoomies around the bedroom. So yeah, she's sleeping for now and doing well. Ron, hey Ron, I always see you in the comments. Good to see you. About 30% of MAGA will never get it. In the study of cults, it's shown that 2-3% will snap out of it, get reason or intervention out of it, or 30% are intractable. I agree. I mean, we are seeing a lot of people on the right saying, hey, I regret my vote. I voted for the Orange McNugget 3 times, and I won't do it again. And the fact that we're seeing those tells me that there might be MAGA regret, but I think you're right. There's too many that will never change. And someone actually posted it in our Discord server. Someone had a T-shirt on. Oh shoot, I can't copy it over to the share screen. But it was sad because someone, an older MAGA supporter, actually had on the back of her shirt saying that, my son died of COVID, but I am still voting for Trump, right, or something along those lines. So you're right. I think 30% of them will never get it, and they will be MAGA for the rest of their lives. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, I'm well behind. I just noticed a timestamp. Oh my god, I'm way behind. I gotta catch up. So I apologize if I cannot read out your comments, and I'm about 18 minutes behind when it comes to the comments. So let's see what else. I'm just skimming through these just to see if there's anything that pops out. So how's everything? How's the weather where everybody is? I mean, I've been noticing that the west coast of Canada has been pretty warm. My friends back home in Vancouver are telling me that they were in shorts and a hoodie not too long ago, and I've heard that Calgary was around 10 degrees, which is very odd, and seems like Eastern Canada is still buried in snow. So, but hopefully it doesn't snow too much for the East Coast, and you guys aren't going to be buried in snow. Got a comment from Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, how's it going? I think Canada should do the same thing as Europe and get away from Visa and MasterCard. I thought that too, but what are the alternatives, right? I mean, credit card wise, the good thing, at least for me in Asia, I do have a local credit card here, but obviously, it's like a basic card. But a lot of the payments that I have here are like, direct bank payments, or there's an app here called Touch and Go. So if I'm at a restaurant or if I'm at a shop or whatever, it's basically QR scan to basically pay for anything, right? But in terms of actual credit cards, I mean, what would be the alternative to Visa and MasterCard? Excuse me. There's Visa, MasterCard, and American Express are like, the big three, but I personally don't know what would be the an alternative to get away from the US branded ones. So let's see. What else do we got here? Uh, even Gavin Newsom on DeVal's kept interrupting his interviewer. Um, yeah, I vaguely remember something about this, but I'm not sure where you're going with this. But I mean, Gavin Newsom, I mean, I'm looking from the outside in. I mean, Gavin Newsom is one of the more vocal Democrats that's speaking out, and I give him credit for that. But I think there needs to be more resistance when it comes to the Democratic side, and I think the slight hope that I saw was, when Pam Bondi was getting interrogated and basically called out for stuff. And in my opinion, we got to see more of that, right? And we got to see more of the Democratic leaders actually saying the things that actually matter. And sometimes I watch some of these Congress sessions, and there's so many softball questions and um, you know questions that are just they're useless in my opinion, if you ask me, right? And it's just there for show. So, yeah, but I mean, obviously, I'm not a political guy, and I'm not in politics, so I would obviously be saying stuff a lot different. So, that guy in Florida said he wanted Canadians to pay tax and not Floridians. Wonder how his books are looking. Yeah, that's true. I mean, DeSantis said, "Let's get the snowbirds to pay for everything," right? So we'll see how it goes. Um, YouTube says, Dad always says how to include a 20% American BS tax on any deal. Yep, I agree. Um, let's see, where else are we going? Oh wow, I'm still way behind. Just give me some feedback, guys. How is this new mic sounding? I mean, I moved back a little bit, Tawny, so I'm hoping it's not overwhelming, but hopefully this new mic is better than my old one. So I got a comment here. So, not all Americans are arrogant, ignorant, entitled. Unfortunately, the politicians are brainwashed people to see the whole picture. I know, yeah. I mean, I don't agree with you. Or I don't disagree with you. I mean, it's not all Americans that I'm saying is arrogant, ignorant, and entitled, right? I mean, one of the things is that I had this conversation in my interview with Ron. The a Canadian that just moved back from Arizona, is that there's a lot of U.S. citizens that are not arrogant, and they understand what's going on, and they understand the damage that is being done. But what I'm trying to say is that they are still a very, very small portion of the overall population of the United States, right? So I consider my friends in Hawaii to be that very small portion. But I consider my friend in Nevada to be a portion of that larger portion of the United States that really doesn't give a shit, right? So I've never said it's all Americans and or all U.S. citizens, and it is a smaller group. Unfortunately, that is the resistance, and that smaller group needs to grow. So let's see. There was a YouTube channel I followed till I discovered the YouTuber was a MAGA living in Canada and was talking about exterminating our natives. Yeah, I don't know what channel you're talking about, but there was a lot of YouTube channels I was following, whether they're travel channels or finance or whatever else, and they I think up until last year, some YouTubers can hide who they support, and they're very good when it comes to kind of staying neutral, right? But I started noticing last year when the Orange McNugget got into office, where these YouTubers, where their political support was, and I also unsubscribed to quite a few of them because I started noticing that the bias towards whether it's like a finance channel or a travel channel or whatever else really started going to the right. So yeah, I mean, I remember it was probably right around the time I started this channel in April last year, where I did a purge of all of my channels that I still wanted to follow and the ones that I didn't. So yeah, but thanks for following me. Hopefully you're subscribed to my channel. We got Robert again. Exceptionalism makes anything weird. I mean, see the whole World War II thing. We have to hear every week that Europe has to be thankful for the U.S. I never hear any Canadian say that, for example. Oh man, yeah. You know, it's funny. A bunch of people in our Discord server posted up a subreddit called crap. I forgot what it says. Oh yeah, shit the Americans say, right? And it's a bunch of posts and screenshots where U.S. citizens they'll post up stuff that they're totally clueless on, and I just vaguely recall. I'm paraphrasing here, but I vaguely recall a U.S. citizen was saying in a post that the United States saved the world or saved World War I and World War II. The rest of the countries should be in our debt or something like that, and it's just you know you're right, Robert. I mean, it's the exceptionism thing, and unfortunately, there is a group of people that understand, and but there's going to be a big group I think that will never understand, and the brainwashing. It's the brainwashing to think that they're the greatest country in the world. I don't ever foresee that being fixed in my lifetime. So, all right, let's keep going. I'm getting way behind here. Um, Guard the Leaf, I tried to connect to your Discord, but I received an error saying that it couldn't join. You may have reached your max members. What? Is that true? I don't think there is a max limit on Discord. Hang on a second. I'm going to do this in real time. I'm going to mods. Someone just said they had an error joining the Discord and said something about being at max people. I'm also typing this live. Ha ha ha. Anyways, I'll get my mods to check into it. I think some of the mods might actually be watching now, so maybe the Discord mods, can you help to kind of get this checked with the mods, see if there's any issues. But yeah, hopefully you can join, and we have a lot of good conversations in there, just sharing ideas, posting up links, and also posting our pets. So it's just a place that everybody can, like-minded people on both sides of the border can, talk, chat, and even go on voice chats. So, we've had a couple of voice chats in there, and I've jumped in a few times as well. So, oh, we got our first super chat, or it's called the super chat. Yeah, first super chat from Arbutus RM. Maybe a small toy for the cat. Thank you for the $6 Canadian. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, the problem with toys, and I'm sure everybody else that has cats know this. I bought the co-hosts, both co-hosts, a cat tree, and this cat tree. I mean, obviously, it's like a no-name cat tree. It didn't cost me very much, and the stupid thing didn't even have instructions. And I had to figure it out from the photo how to build it. But regardless of that, I built it. And, it took me about an hour to build. Got it all set up, and neither of the cats used it, and all they did was play with the stupid box. So, because the box, it had foam in it and plastic and whatever else, and they didn't use the cat towers. So I was just like, why did I even bother buying this for you guys, right? So, but yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll use the $6 Canadian and try to see if I can get some catnip for them, and see if the co-host can have a little catnip fun while I'm recording. So, but thank you, Arbutus RM. Appreciate it. Got a message from Wheelchair Mike. Wheelchair Mike, how's it going? You okay? I want to give Mike some acknowledgement, because Mike has been on my channel, I believe, since I was close to. He was probably like between 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate your support, Mike, and glad to see you here. As an American, my advice prioritize you and your family's safety first. Big continent of the United States is not going anywhere. When this terrible nightmare is over, you will be revisiting coming into America. I hope so, Mike. And I don't know when that's going to be. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the next like 3 years, right? But I think for a lot of Canadians, including myself, there's got to be a cool down period, and not even just a cool down period, but it's we got to see how, if there is any improvements, right? I mean, when I say improvements, obviously, Canadians are not going to want to hear the rhetoric. We're not going to want to hear the 51st state stuff, right? And it's got to be a genuine improvement in terms of trying to rebuild the trust. But Mike, I think if that day ever comes, I would love to meet with you one day, provided that everything is okay, and I'm good to kind of publicly reveal. So, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and being here since the very, very, very early days. All right, who else do we got? Has anyone heard about any ice stuff when it comes to the Olympics? Because I'll be honest, I have not kept up with the Olympics at all. So especially even the hockey games, it's way too late for me, and I can't stay up that late to watch it. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Do I have anything else? Oh, I had an article here that I wanted to show, and I can't remember who sent this to me, but it looks like okay. One of the things I want to talk about is, obviously we know do not do stopovers in the United States, and that also includes, don't go on a cruise that has a port in the United States or the starting port in, like, say, Florida somewhere, right? Because I did interview somebody who, a Canadian, and basically he went on a cruise internationally, and when he came back into Florida, he was detained for about 2 or 3 hours, right? And obviously nobody wants to be detained, and it's a stressful situation. So, I've always encouraged people, don't do layovers in the United States, and even if you're not going to be visiting the United States, don't use a port that is starting or ending in the United States. But somebody sent me this article, and I apologize, I can't remember who, but it looks like they're going to start having Caribbean cruises without stops in Florida. So I'm going to talk about this one in a future video. Maybe I'll create the video tomorrow and give you guys a little bit more details. But if you're able to do a Caribbean cruise without going to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, that might give everybody a little bit more options. So those of you who are might be missing going cruising, this might be an option for you. So wait for me to create this video. I will most likely create it either tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, this is a pretty good article, and I apologize. Someone sent it to me. I can't remember, but thank you. I appreciate you sending it over. Excuse me. I need a drink of water. Just give me a second here. All right. I saw somebody say agree, Ron. Is Ron in the chat? Are you here, buddy? I'm so happy, Ron, you're back in Canada. And what's funny is that Ron was in Arizona, and he's now back in Vancouver. Actually, he's from Toronto, but he's back in Vancouver. And he's about maybe 3 or 4 blocks from where I used to reside. So he's definitely, he's in my old neighborhood. So, all right, what else do we got here? Stephanie says, I'm pretty certain if I asked my teens if they would want to go to the States, they would say no. I'm actually glad to hear that, because I haven't really kept up in terms of, like, say, for example, the Gen Zs or the younger crowd, how they are viewing everything that's going on, right? Because I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, my demographic on my channel is really mainly 35, maybe 45 and above, right? So I don't get a lot of viewers that are in their 20s or even the low 30s. So I really don't know, what they're feeling. But I'm glad to hear that even, the younger generations are keeping up with what's going on and, not wanting to go to the United States. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, shit. Co-host is moving. Stay asleep, stay asleep. Okay, good. She's just stretching. I guess I get worried because then when she starts walking around, she starts, like, screaming. So I don't want her to scream right now because my wife is not home. My wife went out, and I don't have anybody else that can actually kick out the co-host if she really starts to go, go co-host, right? So, all right. Aren't going to want to see what else we got. Oh, I should start looking at the super chats. Oh, I missed a super chat from Sam K. So Sam K with the £5. That's pound. Yeah, pounds. Trump is a fruit cake with extra nuts towards a coffee for the legend. Thanks for the £5. And yeah, he's, sometimes you got to sit back and realize, holy crap, like this is the president of the United States. That's he he's posting on Truth Social at like 1:30 in the morning and acting like a crazy, crazy ex-girlfriend, right? So, and this is the guy with like the nuclear codes, and it's just it's it's just mind blowing to me. So, but thank you, Sam. I appreciate the £5. Um, Arbutus again. Oh, thanks. Just call me Arb. It's easier. All right, Arb. Thank you very much. You know, I mix it up because I keep saying Arbutus, right? I mean, Arbutus is a street in Vancouver, and then I just get it mixed up. So I'll just call you Arb from now on. Added space. Thank you for the 20 Canadian. Happy Family Day. Getting my citizenship, the Canadian citizenship this week. Good to be here. Congrats to you. Congrats. I'm really happy to hear that. And I don't know what is involved in terms of getting your citizenship, but I know that it does take quite a while. So it sounds like this is a long time coming for you. And let us know in the chat where in Canada are you based? And I'm very happy that you are now going to be a Canadian citizenship Canadian citizen this week. And thank you again for the 20 Canadian dollars as well. Next one we got from John D9. Hey, John, glad to hear you made it this time. I know last time you mentioned that you weren't able to make the live stream. Thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars, over 400 viewers, but less than 200 likes. Come on, people, show some love. Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. I mean, one thing I'm realizing too, I don't know why I'm a little bit more nervous this live stream than I was the last one. Maybe because I have this new mic and I'm really kind of paranoid on how it sounds right now. But yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying me just kind of rambling and just getting to know the community, hit the like button. And then apparently I think there's a hype button as well. So I don't know what the hype button does, but some people have said it's supposed to help my video out as well. But glad to see you here, John, this time. Next we got YouTube. Thank you for the $10 Canadian. And that's a pretty cool beaver emoji or image that you have on yours. So, but yeah, thank you for the 10. And we got Story Magic, who became a YouTube member. Thank you very much for becoming a member. So there is one, I think there was one more thing I wanted to share. Oh yeah. I can't remember who asked me. Somebody asked me how the ski slopes are doing in the US. And it's been a while since I reported on anything when it came to the US ski slopes, but it seems like there's a few articles out. And I just creating a video now earlier that talks about a ski slope in Vermont. I believe it's called J Peak Resort. And obviously they're struggling, but I just found this other one that talks a little bit more in terms of how the Canadians are not going to the resort. So this is also going to be another one that I'm going to talk about in an upcoming video as well. So I just can't remember who asked me about the ski resorts, but I finally have an updated article that I can report on. So, all right. What else do we got? Oh, I'm way behind. I'm now over half an hour behind when it comes to comments. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to scroll and just. I think I'm just gonna have to jump to the current time. So, thank you, Ostango. You sound good. Ramble on. Yeah, I'm just kind of saying whatever comes to my mind, and I'm just learning not to give a shit anymore. I think okay, I want to take this time. I mean, thank you, Oztango, for just this comment, because I really want to thank everybody for their encouragement, right? Because if you guys, you guys know I'm in tech, I'm an introvert, and me actually just having a YouTube channel right now is like totally out of my comfort zone. So, and sometimes, even my wife, she says every so often, she's like, I can't believe you have a YouTube channel. And even some of my friends, like one of my close friends, I've known since almost kindergarten. I told him, yeah, I have a YouTube channel, but obviously keep it quiet. And he just kind of paused. He's like, what? You have a YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah. So just having this channel is completely outside of my comfort zone, and yeah, I mean, I'm quickly learning that I have dyslexia and, and whatever else, but I really do appreciate the encouragement that the community is giving me. And, the reading the comments, I mean, I think I let the shitty comments get to my head in the beginning. But I was always so careful in what I said. And, the good thing about me just not giving a shit anymore is that my video production time has trimmed down a lot. So I can actually create 2 videos per day now, because I'm not sitting there, trying to be perfect, trying to make sure that my audio is good, or, I didn't stutter, or, whatever else, or I didn't say the number incorrectly. Right. So, you know, I want to, I really do sincerely appreciate everyone in the comments, and it's making me kind of, even now, like my rambling right now is the true rambling, what I normally do. And yeah, it's a lot of dead space and dead air and stuff, but it's getting me, I guess, more comfortable being able to do this. So thank you, Oztangle, and even the rest of the community for the encouragement. And on the bright side, yeah, and it's actually making my video production a lot faster too. So, and I think a lot of people said it just makes it more personal as well. So, all right, what else do we got here? I snowpack in Washington State Cascades are 50% below normal. Yeah, and I think the local mountains in Vancouver, Grouse, Cypress, and Seymour are pretty bad at the moment too. And even my friends were saying that Whistler isn't even the greatest at the moment too. So I'm not sure what it's like in the interior mountains, like crap, I forgot Sun Peaks and others, but I think the whole West Coast, Western Seaboard is having a warm winter. And the thing that's going to worry me is fire, forest fire season, right? So I think that's everything. That's something that everyone on the West Coast, and even maybe even the Central, both sides of the border, needs to be keeping an eye on. So, but yeah, my friends, they bought edge cards to Whistler, and they're very disappointed. So, what else do we got here? Let me get back to the super chats. So Jen T gifted 5 Guard the Leaf memberships. Thank you, Jen. And I'm still not sure how these gift things works. I mean, Josh kind of explained it to me that it is random. But yeah, I guess, and I don't even know how people gift it, right? So I mean, I might have to figure out how Jen T actually gifted memberships to other people. But I do appreciate it, Jen. And Nick, going to move on. Riley Labsky, thank you for the $5. People of the world, please continue to treat MAGA with nothing but disrespect and hostility. These Cretans are the worst of USA has to offer. Yeah, and unfortunately, they're giving the USA a bad image. I mean, I don't think it's just them. I think a lot of layers of the onion are being unpeeled right now. But obviously, the MAGA is the front line, and I mean, obviously it's not ever going to go away. I think it's just a matter of how many of these MAGA people decide to either be enlightened or have that light bulb turn on in their head and stop being brainwashed. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't see how this is going to be resolved. But at the same time as well, I hate to say it, but it's not my problem. But I think thanks, Riley, for the $5. Next one we have here is from Roderick with the 1111 euro. Happy Family Day to everyone in Canada. Tomorrow is Rosenmontag here in Germany. The most important day of Fastnacht. Sorry, I know I brutalized that. Carnival in Mainz, Germany. It will be very political as usual. Well, happy Family Day to you. And I'm very happy to have viewers from all over the world. And, I do potentially have an interview with one of your fellow German citizens who has actually followed my channel, and she and I have actually been speaking offline, and is she's potentially kind of interested in giving her point of view as a German citizen, in light of, especially with like, the Orange McNugget trying to buy Greenland, and the more disrespect to the soldiers and things like that. Um, Potentially, I might have a interview with a German citizen that's going to kind of give her thoughts in terms of what Europe is thinking right now. So, but thank you, Roderick, for the 1111 euros. And we got next Sam K gifted 5 Guard the Leaf memberships. Thanks again, or thank you, Sam. I'm gonna have to read up on how you guys are actually gifting these memberships. I mean, do you have to be a member in order to gift it? I'm not really too sure. Kind of sounds sad, even though I'm the one with the YouTube channel. I don't even understand how that works. So, I should take this time. I mean, one of the things I haven't been doing a lot, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just I don't have the time. But I for any of my members that are on the live stream right now, I do want to say that I feel I should be contributing to you guys more, or focusing on you guys more. I know there's different levels in terms of the memberships, and one of the things I have wanted to do is to start creating more member videos and things like that, right? But obviously, with my schedule, it's tough for me to create members only videos. Now, one of the things I did do, and this happened in January, is that I did have a members only Zoom call, and we had a very small group, probably about I think how many did we have? We had about 17 people, members, and a few that I invited in as well that have helped me with my channel, and we had just a chat on Zoom, and we were talking about all things Canada, United States, boycotts, and things like that. So I plan to do one again, hopefully by the end of this month. So keep an eye out for the member post. And I have to have it on a first come first serve basis. I'll probably cap it at about maybe 15 or 16. But whoever is able to join, you can join and have a call and a chat with your fellow GTL members, and just get to know each other. And I think that is something I can do. And I'm also going to start to try to figure out if there's a way that I can have my members that are on YouTube, and if you're on the Discord server, if we can have like our members only chat, right? So I think anybody with a green name right now, if you're a member and you're also on the Discord, you can also chat with other GTL members there as well. So I'll have to talk to the Discord mods to see if that is possible or not. But I know we talked about possibly having that as an idea. All right, moving on. So we got Mr. Present 99 with the 10 euros. I hate to say that all ICE Gestapo, because they are not secret police. They are the SAS Gestapo, or the neighbors calling ICE, or just MAGA people calling ICE for tips. Yeah, I mean, what I'm kind of worried about is ICE is starting to become normalized, and I mean, technically right now they're defunded because I think the U.S. government is half shut down. But what I mean is that ICE itself and their raids and their stopping people in the cars and whatever else is starting to become, I think, normalized. And it is starting to become normal that the MAGA will just call or threaten and say, "I'm going to call ICE on you," right? And that is wrong. I mean, I've seen TikTok videos of people, they were at a sporting event, and I can't remember what happened, but the lady basically said to the person holding the camera, "I'm going to call ICE on you right now," or something like that, right? And that's what I'm worried about, it becoming normalized, right? I mean, for anybody that is not a U.S. citizen and going to the U.S. on vacation, and especially if you're not the preferred skin color, you have to be worried about a potentially you know trigger happy MAGA person deciding, oh, I'm going to call ICE, and there's a dark skin color person in my neighborhood, right? So I'm worried about that, and the biggest thing I'm worried about is that it's starting to become normalized now. So, but thank you, Mr. President 99, for the 10 euros. And Spectralite gifted one Guard Leaf membership. Thank you, Spectralite, and congrats to whoever got the membership. Dubug. Oh man, you're testing me. Do you? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Thanks for the 2 British pounds. I appreciate it. Steffer also gifted one Guard Leaf membership. Thank you, Steffer. And the last one I can see here, Boris Pat, with this five Sing dollars. No worries, GTL. YouTuber is not your day job. Just do your best. Will do. Thank you, Boris. I appreciate that, and also appreciate the 5 Sing dollars. So, are you from Singapore, or are you just there on vacation? I can't remember, but it's good to see people in this time zone. Following my channel as well, and even in the comments. So, I know there's another Singaporean, Lin W, who is always in my comments, and I've even spoken to him on email as well. So, very happy to have people locally here in the time zone that I'm in now, following my channel. All right, so it's almost coming up to an hour, but my wife is not home yet, so I guess I can go on for a little bit longer. Let's see what's going on here. Why are you all spotters here? Don't even bother engaging with MAGA. No matter what the legitimate and verbal facts you present, they will ignore or say it's fake news. Oh yeah, 100%. You guys should see how many. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I think for the last 4, maybe 5 weeks, my email inbox has gone out of hand. I mean, I was consistent, maybe keeping it at about 80 unread messages. I was keeping on that pace, but over the last 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, I got 270 unread messages now, or unread emails. So I figure I just got to take one day and just kind of go through all of it. So if you are trying to send me an email and you haven't heard back yet from me, chances are your email might be one of the 270 that I have not been read yet. So I do apologize. All right. Script. We don't need no stinking script. Oh yeah. Hey, Echo Beef. You know what? I'm actually getting used to it. And I kind of did a little bit of a blurb or speech about it earlier, but I'm definitely starting to get used to not having a script. I think the next thing I got to kind of master is the pauses that you're kind of hearing right now, because even in my videos, I forget what I'm gonna say. I mean, when the video is running and I pause it and I want to say something, I tend to forget on the spot what I'm gonna say after. So Wayne gave me some tips and saying, just you gotta kind of plan it out first, do some bullet points on what you want to talk about, and then just speak about those bullet points. So yeah, but I'm definitely getting more comfortable just kind of saying what's on my mind. And I haven't opened up a notepad for I think almost 2.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks now. So it's been great. What else do we got here? My son was with Dyslexia Society for a year to help him. Yeah, you know what? I'm in my mid-40s right now, and even for my role, I don't have to speak very much, I guess. And everything these days is always by chat. Unless I have a department meeting, I'm doing like a once every 2-week department meeting. But kind of doing this kind of public speaking and reading and things like that is something I never really had to do up until this channel. So I'm really starting to learn a lot about myself, and especially when it comes to numbers and phone numbers and things like that. I always get January and June mixed up when I'm talking. I don't know why. But yeah, I started to do a little bit more research on it, and trying to understand what I can do to resolve this. So, let's see. All All right, we got one from here. YouTube, if you ever want to talk geopolitics, history, education stuff, my beat, I guess. As I dip my own toe in the YouTube swamp, please reach out. I'd love to do it with an interview and give you some content. Yeah, sure. YouTube, reach out to me. And best way, if you're on Blue Sky, you can reach out to me there, or even on the Discord server as well. As I mentioned earlier, my email it's going to be very tough for me to keep up with it. So reach out to me, YouTube. Let's got another one from Ron. That's so awesome, guy. I'm working with getting my disability because of my wreck back, so I've been short on cash. Thanks so much. Awesome. Did you get a member gifted to you? I'm not too sure. Looks like it's positive. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. GTO, you got a clock. You got a clock on the envelope in the chat. Allows you to get super stickers, memberships, etc. YouTube then pays you its percentage. Yeah, I mean, I do get super stickers on, or I know super thanks on my regular videos. So if people want to give me that, I really appreciate it. And then the super chats, I mean, I can see them, but I don't know what a super sticker is. So you can kind of tell I'm not really up to date when it comes to this stuff, and obviously Josh is driving right now, so I can't really ask him. But I'll look into that, and but I do appreciate everyone already giving me the super chats. So I'll probably buy the co-host something once it comes in. So and oh, I just heard my wife come home, so I may have to end this soon. Let's see here. I love North Vancouver. When I flew there from the UK, is the sushi station still in Lonsdale? Ooh, sushi station. Is that the one that is outside that faces towards the water? If it is, it was there in October when I kind of did my last rounds before I moved. So, but maybe somebody from North Van can update. Children of the Corny, you're an amazing content creator. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate that, but I'm not saying this to be humble, and I'm not saying it to kind of downplay what I do, but there's so many better content creators out there. I mean, I Bill Kelly is one of them, and I watch all of his videos, and I've spoken to Madeline, his producer, quite a few times, and I keep telling her, I was like, look, I wish one day that I would be able to have the knowledge, but also the speaking skills that Bill does, right? And obviously, yeah, I mean, Bill has a radio host career, but I would love to be like that, right? But I mean, at the same time as well, when it comes to content creating, it's not just creating the YouTube channel; it's knowing the knowledge, it's knowing the politics, or having information about trade and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'll be honest with you, I don't really have the knowledge. I mean, I'm a tech guy. I started my career fixing computers, and now I fix networks, right? So it's not like I have any of I'm not specialized in politics. I'm not specialized in trade. I mean, I know a little bit of trade when it comes to, business trade and things like that, but I'm not specialized in tourism. I'm just speaking my mind, right? So, I appreciate you saying that, I'm a great content creator, but I still firmly believe, I'm just venting, and I'm not always right. There's a lot of times I'm wrong, or, I say things wrong or whatever else. But, maybe my big advantage is that, yes, I've traveled a lot, and I've traveled to, different countries, and I've learned with my travel, and even my first stint away from Canada, that, our country, for those of you from Canada, our country should not be taken for granted. And I did take Canada for granted. I mean, before, I would say in the 2000s, my early 20s and 30s, I actually hated Canada. I thought it was boring. I hated, well, I mean, this is more Vancouver stuff. I hated the city government. I thought it was whatever else. And it wasn't until I moved away my first stint that I started realizing, you know what? All the stuff that I complain about, it's peanuts compared to, what I experienced living in a country that has poverty, right? You know, I previously lived in a country that, you there's the poverty line is very high. And what really kind of got me was you could you could you could be in the neighborhood in a country. It would be considered like middle class, and you literally cross the street, and it's slums. And I got to witness that for quite a few years, and just witnessing it and understanding it, and even having staff in the past where they did not have a legal registered address, and it humbled me. So, you know, when I look back at Canada now, all the things I used to complain about, taxes, um, waiting at the doctor's office for an hour, or whatever else, that really did not matter to me anymore. Because, when you live in a country that doesn't have the basic necessities of like running water, or like um, a post office that's efficient, or, just the things that we take for granted, it really makes you think and, appreciate what we have, right? So, for Vancouver, I will never complain about Vancouver traffic again. Even before, I used to complain about um, the Queensboro Bridge a lot, because the traffic would always get backed up, and I used to always complain about Oak Street as well. So I never did after that, and it's because I've really experienced a country where traffic, you can be sitting in the same place for like 10, 20 minutes. I'm not joking you, and it's literally faster to walk. So I appreciate it. I mean, I know I went on a little bit of a rant, but the children of the corny. I don't consider myself an amazing content creator. I just consider myself somebody that is speaking on behalf of others, and just venting, to be honest. Um, so yeah, but thank you for your support as well. Um, all right, I need to get through the remaining super chats because my wife is definitely home, and I'm gonna guess that she wants to go to sleep soon. Um, let's see. Okay, I think I last left off here. So, Matt Basterson, fan from Oregon, thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. Mac Mooney, thank you for the 5 treats for the kitties. Thank you. And I'm trying to figure out what kind of treats the co-host wants. And I mean, I think I've given up on giving her toys, and even the other co-host, the Torty, they don't like toys. They like boxes and like plastic. So boxes, plastic, and paper. That's what they want. So anytime we order something online, we just give them the box, and they're good to go. So, but thank you for that. I'm going to see what I can try to see. I'll try to see what I can get the co-hosts. Next one, Story Magic. One gift. Guard the Leaf membership. X Angel 74 became a new member. Congrats, and thank you for becoming a new member. Steffer is also a member for 6 months. Oh, now I got a whole bunch of super stickers. So I must have been when I was talking about the super sticker. All right. Thank you, Angel, X Angel, for the super sticker. Arb as well. Stormy Magic as well. And Steffer for the super sticker. And MJD 1964 in Another World. Thank you for the $3.99 super sticker. And last one here before we end it for today. Garth McKeel 9539. Thank you for the 5. I still complain about the bridges on the river because I tow barges under them. Oh, okay. I one of my jobs in the late 2000s, I used to cross the Queensboro Bridge almost every day, and I hated that bridge because it would always be backed up. And not only that, but even going, on both sides, it's not like it's one way is always going to be bad. It's both ways that are always going to be bad. So, but yeah, I'm in a different situation here. You used to go under the bridge. I was going over them. So. But thank you for the 5 Canadian dollars. So, All right, so I think I got to wrap this one up. So just a bit of updates before I close off. I believe Josh mentioned to me that at the end of this month he should be able to. I think he said he's taking a weekend off and he's going home. So him and I said that if our times are right, um, we'll do another live stream together. And if we do, we'll make sure that we give everyone at least a day or two heads up before we start. So expect that to be around the end of the month, and at the same time as well, I am thinking about doing another members only chat where we can just have a chat about anything, Canada, U.S. related, or whatever else. So another thing, if you're interested in chatting with your fellow GTL community, I would highly recommend to join the Discord server because I'll be honest, that's where I am most of the time now, and I'm able to get to know the people that have joined the server. So um, if you want to join the Discord, it will be in the pinned comment and as well as the description on all of my videos. So have a look at that, and I hope to see you there. All right. I think that's it. So I apologize if I haven't gotten to your regular messages. I mean, you guys are chatting really, really fast. But I want to thank you again for joining. And I think I'm getting more comfortable with this. So I think somebody emailed me or not emailed, but sent me a message on Discord saying, hey, you got to do weekly live streams. I don't know if I could do weekly, but I'll see. Maybe I can do bi-weekly or every 2 weeks or something. But okay. Here's what I will say is that my live streams, I do intend to bring people on, and the first person I'm probably going to bring onto one of my live stream is going to be Wayne from the Toronto Metropolitan University, because what I do want to do is to have a Q&A session with Wayne, and I would love to have the community be able to ask Wayne questions, right? If you have questions on, the travel boycott or what, anything in regards to tourism, Wayne is your guy. So I want to be able to have the community just, interact with Wayne as well, right? So that is probably going to, Wayne is probably going to be one of the first people that I bring on. And hopefully, I think maybe sometime in March, I'll be able to have him come on to one of my live streams with me. All right. So I think that's it. And I just want to wish everyone a good rest of your day. And yeah, I will see you soon. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a good day, everybody.